I thought it was important, I thought it was critical to retell false witness for several reasons. The most important is, I think this is kind of a new chapter in my life as a writer. And what I did is I did a lot of soul searching, and I said, you know, my heart is to really reach this CBA market. And I know to do that, I've got to let my natural instincts be part of the story. I can't self-edit, I can't self-censor, I can't say what's going to work, what's not going to work. I've got to go with my heart. And in my heart, I know that two things are important. One is Christ changes lives, and only Christ changes lives. And the truth is, He changes them in miraculous and supernatural ways. And so to write a book that really will appeal to Christians, but also that Christians will be excited about giving to their friends, I went back to where I started. I started with Directed Verdict, which is a story that has a very real conversion story in it with the main character. And False Witness, when I have retold the book, I did the same thing. I took the spiritual journey of these main characters, I made it as authentic and realistic and messy as it is in real life. But it's a total transformational change that Christ does in our lives. A second part of the retelling that I think is very important is, what's the ministry purpose of this book? And that's why in this book I said I'm going to donate every dollar that I have and every ounce of my energy. Anything that comes out of this book will not come to me, but will go to the church in India as it reaches these untouchables, these Dalit children, and ministers to them. Because I think for CBA to really capture the spirit of a book, it needs to know this is more than a story. What's the heart behind this? What's the purpose behind this? And my purpose behind this is to help the church where the church is most on the move and most desperate for help, and that is India, where I'm a lawyer and I'm a pastor. And in India, the human rights and the spiritual issues all come together and are merging in miraculous ways. So that's the second reason I wanted to retell it. The third reason was, I think as authors sometimes we get ourselves so spread out across so many different markets, we forget, you know, who was the person that I came to the dance with? Who is my real core audience? I think my real core audience, I've decided, is the CBA market. And I want to be able to look at myself at the end of the day and say, I've done everything possible to speak to the heart issues of that market. And I think False Witness does that now in a way that it never did before. We didn't just change little parts of the book. I rewrote basically the entire book. The story is very different now. And this is my best effort to say, I've done everything I can to speak to this group that I started with.